John Ulzheimer is known as one of our nation's most recognized credit experts. Having worked for 28 years in the credit industry, John has become one of the most prolific speakers about credit and the go-to authority on answers to credit-related questions. Credit Countdown with John Ulzheimer.
Hey there, this is consumer credit expert John Ulzheimer, and today I'm going to talk about do-it-yourself credit repair. And specifically, can consumers cause the removal of negative information from their credit reports on their own? That's what we're going to spend our 5 or 6 minutes talking about today. The answer is absolutely yes. The Fair Credit Reporting Act gives everybody the right to challenge information on their credit reports that they feel is incorrect. That's called the dispute resolution process. And while it's certainly fine that consumers choose to hire credit repair companies to facilitate the dispute process, it's certainly not a requirement that they do so. They can choose to do so on their own. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with either method, frankly. They're both perfectly legal. So the method or the process that generally you're going to want to take when you attempt to get information corrected or removed, if you feel that it's incorrect, is what's referred to as the dispute process. And so what you're going to want to do is you want to pull a copy of your credit reports, and so you can clearly see what it is that you feel is incorrect. You can do that for free at annualcreditreport.com. So there's no cost to pull your credit reports from annualcreditreport.com. You can get an inventory of the information on your reports, and then you'll be able to see what information that you feel is incorrect. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to contact the credit reporting agencies directly. Believe it or not, that's called an indirect dispute, because you are disputing information that is provided by an indirect source, like a bank or a debt collector or a credit union or a credit card issuer, and you're going to them indirectly through the credit bureaus. And so even though you're contacting the credit bureaus directly, it's called an indirect dispute. Don't blame me, I didn't come up with the term. And you're going to want to clearly spell out in your dispute communication, which you can either do through the mail. If you can get someone on the phone, you can do it orally, or you can do it over their websites. So it's whatever you feel is the most efficient way and is the most effective method for you. Feel free to do it. They should all be free options. You want to clearly communicate which item you're disputing and the reason you're disputing it. Don't just say something like, hey, I disagree with my credit report, and expect them to be mind readers and understand what item you're disputing and what it is about that item that you're disputing. So be very clear. Identify the item and explain clearly why you feel it is incorrect. And if you'll do that, then you're going to have a better chance of getting a kind of a satisfactory outcome than if you're very vague with your dispute. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to be patient, because the credit reporting agencies, as a matter of federal law, have 30 to 45 days to complete that process. You can help them with the process if you have any documentation that you feel supports your argument. So if you've got canceled checks, if you've got letters from a bank indicating that something is being reported wrong and they're going to correct it, anything at all that you feel will help your argument, you can actually provide that to the credit bureaus, and the credit bureaus will attach those. Think of like an attachment to an email. It's actually very similar. They will attach your supporting documentation to the dispute form, which they will send to the furnishing party. Again, that's usually either a financial services company or a debt collector. And then this, again, be patient, because they have their 30 to 45 days. Even though the credit industry indicates that they complete almost all disputes in less than 2 weeks, they do have a month to do it. Once they're done with their investigation, which is going to include them contacting the furnishing party to determine whether or not your dispute has merit or not, they're going to essentially get a response back from the furnishing party, and that particular response is going to act as a work order, and that's going to instruct the credit bureaus to either remove the item, leave the item as is, or modify the item to correct it if it's being reported incorrectly. So once that takes place, then the credit reporting agencies are going to send you the results of the investigation. It's kind of gonna look like another credit report, even though it's not really a credit report. It's simply the results of the investigation, and they're responsible for causing that type of communication to be sent to you once the investigation is completed. And so what you have just done is you have just essentially processed or caused to be processed a consumer dispute. You've done it yourself. You haven't been charged anything. You were patient. You waited, a couple of weeks, and then you got back a response that hopefully was satisfactory, and you're happy with the dispute process. So that's it. That's how you go about getting information corrected or removed from your credit reports on your own. Not very hard. You can go to the credit bureau's websites. They're very easy to find. Equifax.com, Experian.com, TransUnion.com, AnnualCreditReport.com. Just let your fingers do the walking. So thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk again soon.
For more videos and credit tips from John Ulzheimer, go to www.TradelineSupply.com.